people love solutions. You know, we're all about outcomes. We like to know what's going to happen. We like a full stop. It's sort of like, I mean, why would you go for sort of the long drawn out process, the hard yakka? I mean, you know, if you could, why wouldn't you just have the baby without the pregnancy or the long drawn out labour or the painful process you go through for adoption, or, why cook a meal when you can order one? Just get it, instant gratification. That's what it's all about. Why have an orgasm later when you can have one now? So it just doesn't surprise me that that's what people, sort of tend to want. And that was one of the things that after the community forum we did on Australia Day, that we had lots of feedback, positive and negative, and all, that's all part of the process. But what annoyed me, just one thing that annoyed me the most, and probably the only thing that really annoyed me, was this comment that people made, which said, but there weren't any solutions. Solutions? We had, watch this, 2 hours, two hours to address problems from years, decades, generations of your resident complaints, of letters to the editor, of different levies that have been introduced, different councils, characters, personalities, businesses, GFC, KFC coming in. I mean, the whole thing is just massive, but somehow there's an expectation we'll have it sorted in 2 hours. Now, if you could be that colossally arrogant as to basically come up with a solution for an entire community in 2 hours, you'd be, it'd be quite amazing. Imagine that going, oh yeah, no, came up with it, 2 hours, 2 hours, got it sorted. Just had a call from Barack Obama. I'm going over to the States next week. I'm going to sort out the gun problem. Probably take me, I don't know, maybe a day. Still get out of there by night time, back to Byron for a surf. And then I thought I might have a crack at global warming and climate change. I know that's a biggie. I've put aside a week for that. As for coal seam gas, I could do that in a weekend. I mean, I know it's ridiculous. They just aren't, solutions just don't come like that. You can't, I think it's stupid to think you can do that, because it's about process. You have to engage in a process. You have to find a process that fits. If you're going to listen to everybody, to come up with a solution or a series of solutions that, in some way reflect your community. But I'm sorry, you can't have one straight away. But those of you who really want a solution now, well, this is the best I'm going to do. Now, these are some ideas I've had. Look, I only had 2 hours, and this is what I've come up with now. Right, problem, alcohol. Should we close at 1 o'clock? What time should the licensing finish? 3 o'clock? Well, I've got a problem, and then how do you get drunks home? What about the taxis? Not enough lighting. Well, this is my solution. Don't close the pubs or the clubs at all. 24-hour rolling licenses. Keep people drinking until their livers actually fail, right? And when the livers fail, when the liver fails, and people are sick and dying, they're not as aggressive on the street, because it's very hard to be aggressive when you're an organ failure. So you won't need taxis. You might need ambos, so that might be a problem, but we're going to sort that one out, because that's going to be part of the plan. So got that sorted, that's part of the thing. Another thing was New Year's Eve. People were very concerned about the lack of policing and the lack of community engagement in the parade. So I thought what we could do is get all the local residents, 9,000 of them, to dress up in police outfits and actually do a parade up Johnson Street. Look, don't stop at 9,000. Let's get the whole Shire, 30,000 people dressed as cops walking through Byron. Now, if that doesn't curb some of the behaviour of the revellers, 30,000 cops walking through town, I don't know what will. I think it's actually quite a good idea. Now, there is a problem with holiday letting. All these little houses going and people having parties. And the only problem with holiday letting really is the residents complaining, I suppose. So there wouldn't be complaints if there were no residents. So if we could move the residents for a period of time out and actually turn the whole of Byron into a big schoolies kind of place, maybe just get rid of residents full stop, that could actually solve a lot of the problems. And then you wouldn't have these problems. It wouldn't matter if someone pooed on your front lawn, because it wouldn't be your front lawn. It would be schoolies, and you wouldn't even need public toilets. You could just poo on grass anywhere, just on lawn. It would just like, woo! woo, going off. We could have a floating bar. Forget the beach. Let the rubbish float back out. Come back a floating bar. I think we have got a floating bar. It's called Bolonjo. But you know, we could go for this, or we could take a different tack. You know, we could basically put a big sign up, basically saying Byron closed. You know, not welcome. Go away. Fuck off. Strangers. We could have a big sign saying, I can't believe it's not Byron, and point people to Ballina, or anywhere else coastal, just pretending it's not us. We could hide under a sarong and pretend if strangers come into town, we could just shoot them. And we could shoot residents as well, just to keep it even. We could get rid of, we could shoot young people because they are clearly the problem. And we'll just keep a lot of middle-aged people here that can just sit here and just tidy up. No alcohol, no coffee. No one will ever want to come back here again. These are just some of the ideas. Look, if you don't like them, I'm sorry. I only had 2 hours to come up with them, and that's what happens with the 2-hour solution. It's ludicrous. So if you'd like to be part of a bigger solution, if you'd like to be part of a community vision and a voice to talk about where we're going and what we could do and ideas we might have for some creative visioning, come to our first community meeting on Thursday, the 7th of February. That's it. Look at this. I love doing this on the stone. 7th of February at 6 p.m. at the Byron Community Centre. That's right. Everyone's welcome. Come with your ideas, ludicrous or not. Let's have a big powwow. I'll see you there. I think that's a great idea about the cops, though. Diane Woods won't like it. She doesn't like my swearing. Oh, by the way, hi, Di. How the fuck are you? Did I just set the wrong tone? Oh, spelt wrong. This is called satire. Tricky thing, satire. Look it up. You'd be surprised what it really is. See you soon.